My name is Laura Mansfield, and I'm the CEO of PAGATIM. And PAGATIM is an audio branding company based in Portland, Oregon. And what we do is we actually create custom branded audio content, digital audio content for big brand companies. So we're the leaders doing that in the US right now. The origin of PAGATIM actually is a Latin word, and it means in a village manor. And we named the company that because we really have a belief that as we do good work, all boats rise. So our partners' brands rise, we rise with them, and we actually are able to change the world through our brave, authentic storytelling and conversation making. So a lot of times people ask me also what the orange chicken means, and it was very fortuitous how we came up with what the chicken meant. We actually originally picked it just because there's chickens in every third world village, and we thought that was kind of a fun way to remember my third world background. And then as we grew, I actually had a meeting with a friend of mine who's a storyteller, and he said, "I just love that you chose the chicken." And I said, "Well, why do you love that I chose the chicken?" And he said, "Because in Chinese tradition, the chicken means waking up. And the chicken actually wakes the rooster up in the morning, and there aren't many people who know that." And so that was the first piece. And then he said, "And then you chose orange, which means the same thing." So both the color orange of our chicken and the shape actually both mean waking up in Chinese tradition. So I love that. And we didn't even do it on purpose. One of the hurdles was that, that my husband and I have all of our skin in this game, and we've put everything we have into PAGATIM. And that can be scary sometimes, and many would say we've put too much in, but yet I think that with as much skin as we have, we're not going anywhere. So that works for our investors' advantage, that's for sure. And in the long run, I think it also works for our advantage, because it's really made us stick with figuring out how to do this when the going got tough. As far as hurdles go, I like to actually see them as learning opportunities, and there have been a lot of those to get to where we are. And I think that more than anything, I didn't realize how much patience it took to be an entrepreneur, that everything takes more time than you think it's going to take, and that's the same thing that happened here. And some people would look at how far we've come in 3 years, and they'd say, "Oh, I can't believe you're only 3 years old." But for me, it's felt like 25 years, because I really thought we'd be farther along than where we are now in many ways. So I think the main hurdles for us is that we started this company bootstrapping it. We didn't go out and raise a bunch of funds before we started PAGATIM, and I sometimes joke that we jumped into an empty pool and hoped that it would fill on the way up. And so we've been taken care of. The pool is filled, but that hasn't come without stressful moments and times where you don't really know where the water's going to come from. So I think that for us, I would have been a little more capitalized before I jumped into this whole endeavor, but it definitely has forced me to learn quite a bit in a short amount of time. I tend to fall in love with my people, and I think that I always expect people are going to stay forever, and I've come to realize that people either step down at PAGATIM and they're here for the moment, and there's a reason that they came, or they become part of the tapestry. But whether they do the staying or being part of the tapestry is not up to me, it's up to them. And I think that it's tripped me up when I lose people suddenly and I don't expect it. That's been a hard thing for me, and I get very emotionally attached to my team, and so losing people at vital moments has been hard. But amazingly so, it's created vacuums, and the next right person has shown right up the next day, so it's been okay. But I definitely have been tripped up. If I were running a race, I would have stumbled a little bit. The resources I found to be most helpful have really been individuals. I've really been amazed at how open people are with sharing contacts and introductions and networking if you just ask. And also there's a group of women here in Portland that really want to see women entrepreneurs succeed, and so they've really gone out of their way to help me and to help PAGATIM, and I have a deep gratitude for that. And I think OEN, Linda Weston at OEN has been lovely and wonderful to work with, and Holly Files and Sydney Joyner and Shelley Genton and all those people who believed in us at the very beginning. And I have a very deep gratitude for all those women who really came together to make sure that we made it at the very beginning. So all these women that have helped me, I think the one trick that somebody told me a long time ago that I really implemented in getting PAGATIM started is each person that I met with, I always asked for 3 more people to introduce me to. And at the beginning, when I knew no one, that was great. Now it's a little overwhelming because I feel like there's so many people in my network, but I really believe that my network built as a result of that, asking for 3 people, then they introduced me to 3 more, then they introduced me to 3 more. And I think that my gratitude stems from the fact that people are so willing to share. And I try to do the same for people now when I meet with them. If they're just getting something started, I try to think of people within their area of focus that I can introduce them to, and I try to always give them a minimum of 3 because I very much believe in paying it forward. And I have seen how that really has grown in its own way, my introductions and whatever else. And then I will say I did do an introduction once where the guy wrote back to me, who is my friend, I know all the people I want to know, please don't ever introduce me to anyone else. So please don't ever introduce me to anyone else. So I will never introduce him. But other than that, it's always worked out for me. Oh, there's so many abysses. I think the abyss I'm standing at right now is that I've moved beyond if to when with the company, and yet I feel like we're so close to that next place of growth, but we just aren't there yet. And so I feel like we're in this like transition point where we're going like this, and yet we're going to go really soon. And I have a little theory about that, that the development cycle of a company is like the development cycle of a human being. And as you go up the development spiral, you actually cross across those traction points at times. And so that transition or traction point is where we are right now. So I don't know if I necessarily see it as an abyss other than this huge ocean of opportunity. And there's moments where I get scared because it's, you know, is it a fear of success or a fear of failure, or I don't really know, but I get scared of, oh my gosh, here it comes. And I think PAGATIM is the biggest thing I've ever worked on before. We definitely are riding a wave that's bigger than we are, and I feel very blessed because of that. And again, tons of gratitude, and also it's a little scary. So I'm sure that every entrepreneur says this, that they believe that, you know, they're the next big thing. And you know, I spend a lot of time doing meditation, and I've done a lot of personal growth work, and I feel like that has really changed how I approach things. And earlier I mentioned that I don't know whether it's fear of success or fear of failure, but that I feel it in my bones for the first time that PAGATIM is actually going to be really big. And that's amazing, and that's also a little scary. And so when I look at how fast the shoes are growing that I need to fill and how quickly my feet need to grow to fill those shoes, it's pretty intimidating. And yet at the same time, it's inspiring because I'm on this abyss, if you will. I'm on this place. I'm standing there, and I know that I have personal growth work to do in order to take me to where it is that I need to be to take the company to the next level. So it's all intertwined. So it's just an interesting place to be in, to be standing here and watching my shoes grow, and then figuring out how I grow my feet to fit in those shoes, and how I can do that in a faster way. The team really inspires me to keep going and to believe and to be passionate and to know that we have something here. I've just never experienced anything like this company, and this is what my 4th startup. So I think it's definitely a gift that I haven't had before. And then the other thing that inspires me are my 2 boys. They're just these incredible little kids, and they so believe in PAGATIM, and they call everyone here Uncle and Aunt. Our IT guy they call Uncle Kelly and Aunt Tara, and they have, you know, they believe that this is their family too. And that's a really powerful thing, I think, for me to watch, that they're so believe in what mom and dad are doing, and believe in really supporting us. And if I say I have to go to work, they say, okay, Mom, good luck. And they're just really incredible kids. Well, I have my big people that inspire me, like Richard Branson, I think is extraordinarily interesting and a visionary and always push systems to do things differently, and I really admire that. Closer to home, I think I've pulled little things to be inspired by from everyone that's around me. I mean, I look at my parents, and my dad is really hardworking and has his own business, and I've really learned dedication from him and hard work, and he's very good to the people that work for him. He's had the same team. He just celebrated 50 years with somebody that's been working for him, and he's just a really good man. And so I hope that I'm able to do some of the things that he has been able to do with his company. And then my mom is one of those people that, if you can't go over it, go around it. Can't go under it, go over it. She's just doesn't believe in being like a sheep and waiting in lines or whatever else. And I think that she's taught me a way to think differently about the world and question everything and always ask why, and not just do it because you should do it or because that's how everyone else does it. And so I definitely have been inspired by her to do things differently. And then I'm very inspired by the people that work with me. Every single one of them has brought something into my life that's changed who I am and how I approach life, and I feel like that continues to happen with each person that joins PAGATIM. I learn something, and I hope that they learn something from me, if only to use natural products or whatever it is. They'll learn some little thing, but yeah, I feel very blessed to have a lot of people around me that are inspiring